Hey gamers, Drunk Robot here. Hotfix 12 is in and hopefully fix some issues for the loot table for Druid, but there's some greater issues that goes along with this that I would like to discuss. So let's first talk about the Hotfix 12 and what it does. Simply put, there was an issue in the game where Barbarian uniques would drop for Druids. And I'm going to talk about more of this in a second, but for me personally, my experiences, that hasn't really been a huge issue. I have a few uniques for the Barbarian, but overall, I have kind of mixed feelings about this because, completely removing from the table I don't think is a good thing. I think it's okay to find uniques for other class. I think it kind of makes you like, hey, you get this cool unique for another class. I want to go try it. Now, if it overwhelmed the loot table, that would be an issue. And I just would have rather seen those turned down than no longer be drops. There's also some class changes, fix the issues with Sorcerer's combustion ability not applying correctly, and bug fixes for Sorcerer's Ice Shard ability that would cause excessive controller vibration. There's also further stability improvements. Now, what I really want to discuss with the uniques is not so much the Barbarian things getting removed like I discussed, again, playing other action RPGs. I think it's cool to see uniques for other classes. I've never had an issue with it. With the issue I have, and I'll show you the uniques I've collected over the game, is plenty from, Druid specific, that's over here on the left. And then I have the ones that are kind of the overall can be used for any class, and those are the ones on the right. And then I have the Barbarian ones down at the bottom. Now, if you see there, obviously the ones for Druid specific are the ones I've gotten the most of. This is good, this is fine. I would like to see more of the overall kind of balanced out to kind of be a 50-50. Now, it's close, but, it's not great. But also, I haven't seen any other uniques for any other class, and I guess that is an intended feature of the game. Again, like I discussed, I have very mixed feelings about that because it kind of forces you to stay in one lane, which I don't think is the correct way to, develop a game that has multiple characters. And if you want to try multiple characters, you're SOL because you got this one thing. I think uniques should drop from every class for any character you're on, but at a very, very low rate, like a 5% or something like that, because it forces you to go out and maybe you get something cool and you want to try a different build or different class because of a unique you got on your main. Now, my real issue with loot in this game, and it's not with having certain loot be more rare than others. I have no problem with that. Some things should be harder to get if they are that much more powerful. I have no issue with that. My issue is you can't target farm those at all. The way you get uniques in this game, you can do Hell Tides or pretty much any activity in World Tier 3 or 4. Some are locked off to 4, but you can't do one thing specific to get some sort of specific unique. The worst case of this is the little guy over here, Mr. Lisvith. And there's this guy in every single town. But the purveyor of curiosities and the stupid murmuring orbs. You have all these wonderful things that you can actually go. You can get boots if you want. You can get a tunic you want. That's all fine and dandy, but you cannot get uniques from this guy. And that, to me, is a huge misstep. And of course, I'm going to compare this to Diablo 3 because, that is its predecessor. There was Kadala. You had blood shards you'd use, and you could do, it's basically the same exact system. The thing with that is you could get literally any legendary, it would drop. It also, interesting enough, drops of legendaries for other classes would actually show up. And again, I didn't have an issue with that in D3. I didn't think it was a problem because it wouldn't be very common. It'd be like, oh, weird. I got I'm playing a Barb and then I got a Demon Hunter legendary. Oh, that's weird. The other issue is I could get Primal Ancients from Kadala, which is relatively, it's kind of the equivalent to uniques in this game, but it's basically the most rare item you could get in D3. And you cannot get that from this guy in D4, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. So there is no sort of target farming. I know PoE, now I didn't really get into the super end game of this, but I know PoE, you can target farm certain things, certain activities to get certain items. Other games have, Last Epoch, for example, has bosses that have specific legendaries that can drop, and there's different target farming you can do in that game. Diablo 4, well, guess what? Keep playing. That is all you can do. So it's either you just keep playing or just kick rocks, and it sucks. I'm looking for specific, unique, called, oh God, I'm gonna butcher this. Temerity? That sounds about right. Anyways, the thing this is cool is it affects to heal you beyond 100% life, grants you barrier up to 40 to 80% of your maximum life, and that lasts for 8 seconds, which is cool for my build because every time I crit, or as I get, every time I crit, there's a chance I can get healed or something like that. Anyways, with the amount of healing my character does, as you can see from gameplay, I would be proccing this all the time. And I've heard from some other content creators that it's not that great of an item, especially with the specific rolls on this are kind of awful. But I still want to try it. I just want to at least try it for my build, and then get shit stomped by Lilith. But at least I want the chance of getting that. I've heard from, I actually looked on forums, so I'm like, okay, well, this got to be like a super rare. Nope, other people got them, tons, and it would be really nice to spend my stupid murmuring orbs in the pants section and have at least some sort of hope that I could get this item. I don't even care if it's like a 1% or a 0.01% chance. Just give me some chance that I can actually target farm. Because as you've probably heard, the grind from 80 to 100 has just been absolutely horrendous. And it's a very annoying that like I have specific things I'm looking for. I'm also looking for a slightly better weapon with better rolls to give me more of the basic skill. I can't find these one things, and I can't work towards these goals. The only thing I can do is just keep playing. And while I'm enjoying the gameplay, I'm just crushing it. It's frustrating not being able to work towards something and at least feel like you're working towards something instead of just like running around doing things. And this is a huge issue, because I don't want to just spend my whole time just, I hope I get it. It makes the game difficult. And I know, Shakos is another one that's like this. And there's other people that have had specific issues with specific uniques that they just cannot get to drop. And the way to resolve this is target farming. And the fact that this game in this day and age doesn't have it is absolutely ridiculous. And that's pretty much all I want to say about that. So tried another video. We'll see how this one does. I don't feel like I have the enthusiasm today. I'm worn out from work, but I want to get this off my chest before, this news is old news. So that's all I got for today. Thanks for following. Smash like, comment, tell me I'm stupid. I don't really care. Just comment and sub if you enjoyed it. I'm sorry if you did, but that's all I got. Thank you.